a drink. I feel like we just did this.
Where did the time go?
I don't know. So, welcome. It's weird. Like I have to do another intro, and I don't really want to do that again. So I'm just not gonna do that.
We were. If you were here for last show with the same people, we're back again.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
We're
Costume
talking
change.
hockey this time.
Right now, this time it's hockey. Everyone knows it's playoffs here. Welcome back, Rick. Welcome back, Chris.
Thank you.
Me and Rick did this earlier in the year, and we said we should get back to it before the playoffs. And I mean, I guess technically it's sort of kind of before the playoffs.
You just had to bring in Anson Carter to bring some color to the place. No,
there we go. Yeah. I'm glad you didn't say Kevin Weeks. I hate Kevin Weeks. That dude's such a tool. I can't stand Kevin Weeks. So to walk this back a little bit, when me and Rick talked, when did we do this? It was right before the March.
Yeah.
It was right during.
It was right after the Olympics.
Right.
It was right after the Olympics finished in February.
It was like a few days after Sid got hurt, and we looked at the schedule, and I was very, very nervous about the schedule because it was going to be a struggle. So then Sid was out for a good amount of time. Then Malkin got hurt and then suspended. But they stayed afloat and played well.
Yep.
And I didn't really know what to make of that. I didn't know what to expect. Chinikov he needs to be extended hard because that guy is ridiculously good. We got him from Columbus for I think like a sandwich. I think maybe was insane.
I think a bag of donuts or something. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't anything of any relevance, and all that dude does is all he does is score and shoot, and I know they didn't really do too much at the deadline. They picked up Soderblom from Detroit, and I'm still I really wish you were. I really wish you weren't as big as you were, so I wouldn't find you as useless as I do. And it sounds mean, but you were like 6'7", and you just don't play like you're 6'7", right? Like I don't know. You're big for nothing at that point by the way you play. It would almost be like a center in basketball that's not willing to box people out. It's like, what do you like? Why are you that big then? You should just not do that position or do that thing. I mean, I would say the pickup of the year was Stu Skinner, and I think it's funny because we fleeced the hell out of Edmonton. And there's a great follow on Twitter. His name is Penguins Jesus, and he on a very, very regular basis stirs up Edmonton people, and I love to see it. Yeah, we basically got what we got a skilled, on paper, an even trade for Skinner for Jari, but the payoff has been so outrageously high on Pittsburgh's side, and Jari is very much Jari in Edmonton, and it's funny. It's just funny because Edmonton are still like, oh, you'll see the real Skinner. I'm like, we're still waiting to see the real Skinner, apparently, because he's played fine.
He's great.
He has played well out. He has played well since he's gotten to Pittsburgh. That's for sure. Carolina just took the lead on Ottawa in game one. Just a few moments.
That's not surprising.
1-0.
Carolina will sweep that series.
So of the three people on the panel right now, I have no team to root for in the playoffs because, well,
yeah,
I will see this. The Blues blew 2 games this year with a 4-goal lead. They don't blow those 2 games. LA's out of the playoffs. The Blues are in. Which I'm going to get to LA when we do the playoff talk. I'll get to LA. I've got something to say about them.
But they're playing my boys, the Avalanche.
Yeah, play the Avs. Yeah.
Have fun getting your shit pushed in LA.
When we get to the preview, trust me, I've got, again, it's going to be interesting. The biggest surprise for me this year is easily Buffalo. They ended the drought. Yep. They finally were back in the playoffs, and they didn't just squeak in. They won the Atlantic.
Dominated.
They didn't dominate. I got to stress this. They did not dominate. The early part of the season, they were dead to rights. They were in the dregs of the bottom of the NHL. They were done. Then they fired their general manager. Not their coach, their GM. And since then, they have been on an absolute heater. They have been, quite honestly, the best team in hockey since that point. They won the Atlantic Division after not making the playoffs for the last 15, 16 years. They looked the part of a great team. They can score, they can defend. Their goaltending has been solid. They're going to be a threat in the playoffs.
Okay, so Robert and subject to Buffalo. This is a question, opinion question. Does anybody else miss the black jerseys with the white buffalo?
I don't hate it.
The goat head.
Every time I see it, I think of Rob Ray.
I think of Dominic Hashem.
Yeah, I get it.
I miss those jerseys so much.
As long as it's not the Buffalo Slug, I'm cool.
Oh, yeah. Do you guys know who has the? So my one happiness about the playoffs is overtime rules are no longer what the regular season rules are. Do you know who has the most overtime losses in the league?
I was going there with this. The Los Angeles Kings.
They have
a quarter of their games this season they lost in overtime, and they're a playoff team.
You know who is the second highest?
I believe that was not Anaheim. Pittsburgh, I believe, correct?
It is Pittsburgh at 16. Yeah, they shootout wise, not good, is what you would call that. Not enjoyable. Very happy they can, because they are a fast team. They unfortunately take a little bit too many risks, kind of like they think that Sid's 10 years younger than he is, and you can't really do the things like that. I will tell you this, the reason they're going to lose in the playoffs is going to be because of Letang and Girard. Letang is awful, and Girard is awful. And that's what's going to cause them to lose and get removed from the playoffs. That and not really having a physical presence. I would like to see Clifton tonight, number 75, go through a Flyer, and he will. Um, I think it was smart that they let the stars sit for the last few games, kind of get rested up. They're old. Let's just be honest. Everyone's, pretty much my age. So it's like, okay, you don't, we already locked in home ice. We're not really worried about that. We know who we're going to be playing. There's there's no like, you don't need to get your reps in. You're 39 years old. I think you're
right.
You done repped.
Right. So getting back to what you said about the shootout losses real quick. Actually, Vegas had more. They had 17.
Oh,
and something as a Blues fan that frustrates me about this season and being a lost opportunity in the West was weak. Outside of the top of the Central Division, the West was weak. In the West, the Blues had the third most regulation wins of any team in the West, and they're out of the playoffs. Los Angeles had 22 regulation wins. They're a playoff team. I can't stress enough. I hate the loser point. I think the loser point hurts the game. And the reason I say that is that because teams, if it's a close game late in the game, it's a tie game, they're no longer playing to win. They're playing to get the point. And then overtime becomes a game of play to the shootout. I hate it. I would like to see the NHL go to what the International Ice Hockey Federation does is a 3-2-1-0, where you get 3 points for a regulation win, 2 points for an overtime win, 1 point for a shootout win, and you get nothing for a loss. I would prefer that. You should not be rewarded because you got to overtime. You don't get rewarded for making overtime. You get rewarded if you win.
That's really fair.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Huh.
I don't hate that at all. But I think the big.
Okay, Chris, I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. I agree with that completely.
Yeah, it's just I think teams getting rewarded because you made and LA again they lost a quarter of their games in overtime. It's like they won 2 more games in regulation than they lost in overtime, and they are a playoff team because of this stupid loser
shootout. Though, like I really don't like the shootout, and I'm not saying that it's sour grapes. I just don't like the shootout because
I don't like it either. I don't like it either.
No,
I mean,
both teams play until somebody scores,
or you go back to where it wasn't back in the day. You play 60 minutes. You get overtime. You play one overtime period. No one scores, tie game, and you both get a point. Then the problem that leads into teams play for the tie, etc.
Yeah, I kind of feel like you just play until someone wins at that point. Like
that's why I love playoff hockey. That's why I love playoff hockey, because now you play until someone wins, and you get those beautiful 2 and 3 overtime games that are fantastic to watch.
Yeah, I love, honestly, I think a 3-on-3 league, like just a straight 3-on-3 league, that would be so much fun to watch, like a regular 82 game series or 82 game season of 3-on-3. That would be fun.
Interesting. That'd be interesting. Talking about the playoffs, I guess I'll go with my predictions right now. I'll start out west because I know it will focus more on Pittsburgh and all that in a moment here. Colorado and Los Angeles. Hey, LA, thanks for showing up. Now take your parting gifts here. You're gone in 4. That is good. This is going to be an ugly series.
Get the lube ready.
Yeah.
And bend over.
It's like
that's what this is going to be. Get the lube ready and bend over, because you're about to take this avalanche up your.
This is not 2012 with Jonathan Quick in goal. This is not when they made the miraculous run as the 8th seed to win the Stanley Cup. This ain't it.
You're about to get the
Colorado is leagues better than Los Angeles. This is not going to be a series. It's going to be a bloodbath.
Their league's better than a lot of teams in the playoffs right now.
Yeah. Okay, Chris.
Which makes me happy, obviously, as an Avalanche fan.
Obviously.
I see them running all the way to the final.
Oh, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna go series by series here.
Yeah.
But yeah, LA is about to
um,
get that work put on them.
yeah, the LA's getting that run in there. The series and another rant I could go on about the NHL's playoff system is I hate the fact that Dallas and Minnesota have to play in the first round. I hate it. It is the number 3 and number 7 teams in the NHL. It is the number 2 and 3 seeds technically in the Western Conference meeting in the first round. I hate this. A good team is gone in the first round. I understand they want. I don't like it.
I see. That's why I like that, because I feel like, all right, let's get the heavyweight. Like, you don't always have to have the heavyweight fight at the end of the season or at the end of the end of the card. I
mean, it's the 2 and 3 seeds. The Central Division had the 1, 2, and 3 in the Western Conference. It was
Plus, they're going to beat the shit out of each other probably, and then they got to face Colorado next round.
And I will say this: they had the 1, 2, 3, and 6. Utah actually finished ahead of Anaheim and LA. Utah would have finished third in the Pacific Division. So,
home to one of my favorite jerseys, Utah Mammoth. By the way,
I got Dallas. The U or Yuck as the T-shirts came. I sent to you guys the other day. They misspelled the Utah UATH. I got Dallas winning that series in 6 over Minnesota. I just think Dallas has got just a little more talent than the Wild do. The Wild, they have to win a playoff series. They've got to get out of the first round, but they got the worst possible matchup they could get with Dallas. I got Dallas moving on in that one. You go out to the Pacific Division. I actually have an upset in the first round in this one. I got Utah over Vegas, 4 and 6. I got you. Vegas is not. They're not the Vegas of old. They're not the same. They're not the same team. And Utah has got some horses on that team. They are, mind you, this is the same team that was in Phoenix a couple years ago, that they moved and rebranded themselves as the Mammoth.
Yeah.
And since then, the team has actually been built to win. They've actually focused on the team rather than just spending existing as they did in Arizona. Utah is tough. I got them winning that series in 6 over Vegas.
Yeah, I don't really care about the West at all. So I don't really have any real kind of read on that.
No worry. It's no big deal. And I'll finish off the West
and Anaheim, right?
Yeah. And I got the Oilers in 5. I think Anaheim will steal a game, but this is Anaheim was holding up well for most of the year, and then at the end of the season, they really took a nosedive. They were struggling bad in the last, I think, 5 weeks of the season. They're lost.
Try to rely on Jari at all. Anaheim's taking that easily.
Honestly, Anaheim doesn't have the talent to get past Edmonton. Edmonton can win the series on with McDavid being McJesus alone. Anaheim has really struggled, and they played 8 games in the month of April. They won 2. Oof. Going back to March, they lost a couple times there. They're 2 and 8 in their last 10. They really are. They're not hitting the playoffs on a good note. I just think Edmonton getting past them. I'll finish up the West real quick. I got Colorado over Dallas in the second round. I see that one going 7. I got Edmonton over Utah in 6, and then I got Colorado going to the Stanley Cup out of the West over Edmonton. Colorado is the best team in the West right now. It's just they
not the best team in hockey.
They had a stupidly amazing start. I think they lost 2 regulation games until the end of the year. They were playing out of their mind. They hit a patch where they had some injuries. They kind of struggled, but in the last month or so, they've really picked it back up again, and they look like they were a wagon. So we'll go out east there. We'll go east there, Rich, and I'll save the best one for last for you. I got Buffalo taking Boston out in 6.
I mean, that's not difficult. I mean, Boston is literally that team that so it's like all right. It's like the hot guy in high school, right? Always ended up going to the dance with the hot girl. Every year, same thing, but he can never nail down the deal.
He can't.
Literally and figuratively. Like that's kind of what the Bruins are. They just can never. They always got the hot broad in the car, but they're never taking her home.
Oh, the Bruins actually were expected not to be a playoff team this year. They last year they took a step back, and this year they were expected to maybe possibly contend, but most likely not be a lottery team. And then ended up with 100 points. They ended up having a pretty solid season. As I said before, Buffalo is the story of the season.
Right.
If you're a neutral fan, you're probably like myself. I'm kind of rooting for Buffalo. I'd love to see them get it done. Their fan base has suffered for so damn long.
Well, the Bruins will help them with that. I wouldn't be concerned if I was Buffalo.
I wouldn't mind seeing Buffalo go on a run.
It'll go 6. I see Buffalo taking that series.
Yeah.
The series I'm looking forward to the most, and I cannot wait to watch this, is Tampa and Montreal. These two teams hate the living fuck out of each other. This is going to be a hard-hitting, brutal series, and it is going to be fun to watch. It's going 7. I got Tampa.
Montreal. I want Montreal to win that series so bad.
I'm gonna say that'll go 5.
Tampa.
Lightning's gonna take that in 5.
That series is going. Don't sleep on Montreal. They've got a pretty good team around them there. But
that's fine.
That series is going to be probably the best series of the first round. I just think with Kucherov and Vasilevsky in goal is going to be the key for Tampa.
It's been like that for like a decade at this point.
But I wouldn't sleep on Montreal at all.
I'm not sleeping at all. I just understand seeing the Lightning play as much as I have. It's not fun. It's you look across the ice and you're like, okay.
So I got Carolina taking out Ottawa in 5. Carolina is built for a run.
It's weird. It's stupid and it's annoying because there's no one on that team that I'm like, okay, you need to watch out. It's just very much so like, why are you all just generally pretty good at what you do? Like it's frustrating. Like there's no one that's
Rod Brindamore built a very well built team. That's the thing. Brindamore built a team.
Long time.
Yeah. Brindamore built a former Blue Rod Brindamore, may I add. He built a team that's made for the postseason. He built a team to make a run. Carolina no longer has Florida to worry about. Is this the year they finally get over that hump to the conference final, to the Stanley Cup final? You'll see my pick in a moment. And then, of course, we get to the series you care about, Rich, and I'm actually looking forward to the Battle of Pennsylvania. I got the Pens beating the Flyers in 6. It's going to be a damn good series. It's going to be fun. The two teams hate each other, but I got the Pens advancing. The Flyers, again, are like Boston.
Right.
They're almost as good a story as Buffalo.
Well, to be fair, walk that back. To be fair, if we look in the beginning of the season, did anybody see the Penguins here? Like
no. And when we did our show back in February, I remember you said you were concerned the Penguins are going to fall off the map, and I said to you, no, they're going to finish in the top 3 in the division. I did say that.
Yeah, fair enough. What was going on with having the captain out? You're like, and then going into probably the roughest stretch of anybody's schedule at that point. It's like, I don't feel great about this. I have them in 6 as well, but the problem is this team isn't built to deal with Flyers hockey in the first round. The Flyers are going to headhunt. They're going to try to take out people because that's what the Flyers do. And we don't really have honestly, what I'd like him to do is to call up Boca, Boku or whatever his name is, that fucking Kenyan. If you've never seen him, he is this big black guy that likes to fight. Think of him as like Kenyan George LaRock.
Nice.
He is not really good at hockey.
The Scott Stapp of hockey.
Yeah, I mean,
I like to fight.
Like he's just not. He's not great, but he is that force where I'm like, oh. Now Avery Hayes likes to get in people's faces. Clifton, he could be interesting, but they're not really built physically to deal with this. And the people that they're going to go after are the older folks. And it's just, it sounds weird, but so even if they do make it, which they should make it to the second round, I think they're going to be pretty beat up at that point, and they don't have the back end to pick that up. So
in the second round of the East, I actually have Tampa taking out Buffalo in the second round. It's not a knock on. I'm not on Buffalo. It's just Tampa
Bay is really good.
It's Tampa's still got everything there to make one more run to the conference final, and they will play Carolina, who's going to knock out Pittsburgh. It's like you said, just I think Pittsburgh's going to be beat up.
Oh yeah, we have not won in Carolina. I think in like 23 games or some shit. It's something.
And so we get Carolina back in a conference final once again, playing a team from Florida once again. Did I mention the team from Florida has a guy named Corey Perry? You know what that means. Tampa Bay goes to the Stanley Cup final because Corey Perry plays with Tampa Bay, and Corey Perry has to be in the Stanley Cup final. Of course, Corey Perry being on a Stanley Cup final team means he has to be on the losing side. I have Colorado winning the Stanley Cup over Tampa. I know they can't be, Chris.
I don't care who we play in the finals. Avalanche are winning.
I'm taking Carolina over the Avs in 7.
Oh, wow.
That is a bold strategy, Cotton.
That's not a bad. I mean, honestly, it's not a bad pick.
Because seeing how Carolina plays, and I just really seen them play against us, but Pittsburgh and Colorado are both fast teams. They have skilled players. They play similar. Carolina is so frustrating to watch. They're like the 90 or they're like the 2000s Devils, except with more skill. They just don't let stuff happen, and all they do is capitalize. Like all they are, they're just like a little Mexican welterweight. Just counterpunch. They're never gonna punch you first. They're always just gonna counter you. And it's not like the 1-2-1 that the Devils played back in the day. But it feels like a cousin of it, and they just are explosive, and I hate it.
Carolina actually had the second best goal differential this year in the league. Third best, sorry. 50 plus 56.
Not even surprised.
Tampa plus 59. Colorado was best at plus 99.
Yeah.
Colorado was the only team in the league this year to score 300 goals. So they can score like there's going out of style. But
and I think that's what's going to kill them, because if they play Carolina is just going to be like, go ahead and try.
Colorado also gave up the least at 203.
Yeah, they don't give a lot.
They don't. Yeah. They score. They don't give a lot. Carolina was second in goals against. I'm sorry, they were not second. I apologize. They were fourth. They were tied for fourth. But it's the thing I've got Tampa over Carolina, if only because Vasilevsky in net has been outstanding this year, and Kucherov is all worldly. He is, him and McDavid are the two best players in hockey right now. And Kucherov can take that team and carry them to a a Stanley Cup final appearance. And I joked about the whole thing with Corey Perry and Corey Perry's team, going to the Stanley Cup final. But the thing about it is that Perry's still a solid, even at his age at this point, he's still a solid. He's still solid. He put up 37 points this year for them at age 40. So he's still out there. He's still performing at a high level. At the moment. Now, I will say this. There is a player out there right now that, ironically enough, if he were to win the Cup, it would be a Ray Bourque moment all over again, and he plays for Colorado. Brent Burns. Brent Burns was a long-time player with Minnesota and for San Jose for the longest time. He's never won a Cup. He's well-loved by his teammates, fans, and all that. He's played almost 1,600 games.
Oldest player in the league, isn't he?
I'm sorry?
He's the oldest player in the league, isn't he?
Oldest player in the league, 41 years old.
Oh,
oldest player in the league. This would be a Ray Bourque moment for him if he were to win the Cup in Colorado.
We did it. Bourque did it with us too. So,
which, if you're a hockey fan, that's one of the coolest damn moments in the history of sport. I don't care who you root for. That was freaking. Seeing Ray Bourque get the Cup was freaking cool. That was pretty damn cool.
I unfortunately have a Ray Bourque Bruins jersey, but it's fair.
Hey, no, he was a Bruin his entire career, and he went to Colorado for half a season, and they traded him there for him to win a Cup. It was basically, we want you to win a Cup, go out there and finish the job. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was really cool for Boston to do that for him, out of respect for his career and everything. That was just a beautiful thing. And then for him to actually get it, for him to finally be holding it up and being able to kiss the cup was like beautiful.
Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
Actually, I wanted to ask you a question, Rich. Yeah. I know when Rick was on here before, he talked about what got him into hockey. What got you into hockey?
I don't actually really know, because when I think about my youth, the grandparents never really had it on. I think I just came across it, and it just, something about it just enthralled me, right? And I just latched on, and then I started playing it, and I enjoyed that. And then I started like understanding kind of what the game was,
what's up, Marquise?
And then seeing the physicality about it, and then just like the I won't say the camaraderie, but like the policing of its own game. I enjoyed that part of it, because there wasn't any other sport where the inmates were running the asylum, right? You just didn't really see that.
Yeah.
And then just kind of seeing just the Pens and Flyers kind of series, you're like, oh, and then kind of feeling that buzz and just the kind of the visceral hatred, because it is a hatred. I hate Philadelphia. I hate everything about it. I fucking hate them.
Except Shaheen.
Fuck Shaheen. Fuck him and his stupid Philly face.
I mean, it's just where he lives, bro. I mean, he's a good.
Sorry, move, bitch.
Talking about teams you hate, and I know as you as a Pens fan don't have any love for the Capitals as well.
I mean, I'm kind of so Tom Wilson can eat a dick. The rest of the Caps are fine. Like, Tom Wilson's a fucking.
The Caps finished in ninth in the East. They finished with 95 points. This is how weak the Pacific Division was this year. Had the Caps been in the Pacific Division, they would have been Pacific Division champions. It's how weak the West was this year.
Yeah.
I was going to talk about the draft here real quick, and we know Florida went back to back with the Stanley Cup. This year, injuries, and quite honestly, just the grind of going to 3 straight Stanley Cup finals. Because remember, they did lose 3 years ago in the finals. The grind has gotten to them, and they fell out of the playoffs. They finished.
I'm sorry. Florida doesn't deserve hockey. It's weird. It's just weird.
Well, and the interesting thing is that now they're in the draft lottery, and there's a possibility they win the number 1 draft pick after winning back-to-back Stanley Cups.
Hey, fuck it. If that's what happens, it's what happens.
And another thing is another team up north, the Toronto Maple Leafs. They fell off the face of the earth, and that's a dumpster fire. Toronto is a dumpster fire this year, but
Matthew,
they always.
I mean, they usually make the playoffs become a dumpster fire. But the worst part is this year they had one of their worst years in a long time. They're in the draft lottery, and they got to cross their fingers and pray they finish in the top 5. If they are not in the top 5, they give their pick to Boston.
Love it. Love it.
All right.
Okay, Chris.
No, that's crazy.
So, and the team, I mean, the Blues are in the draft lottery. Of course, they finished out of the playoffs. The likelihood of getting number 1 draft pick is not that great. But early in the year, they traded Justin Falk to Detroit, and Detroit said, "Hey, we'll give you our first round pick, unprotected." Detroit's in the draft lottery.
I'm sorry, for Justin Falk.
Mm-hmm. Justin Falk.
Is that Penguins legend Justin Falk?
That is 2019 Stanley Cup Blues champions Justin Falk, may I say?
Oh goodness, that's
They made a decision doing that shit.
They made a decision. They were trying to make a playoff push and failed again.
Also,
and we have their number 1 pick unprotected, which means somehow if the Red Wings win the draft lottery, thank you for Gavin McKenna.
Yep. Now, the Red Wings play a role into why I'm into hockey. What got me into hockey? Because I know people probably wondering, like, what do you watch hockey? Yes. I am a huge Colorado Avalanche fan for one big reason. Patrick motherfucking Waugh.
Yeah.
And the shit talk he said to Chris Chelios.
Oh, God.
The day I heard him say, I can't hear anything that guy says because I've got 2 Stanley Cup rings plugged in my ears, I immediately said, I don't know what fucking sport this is. I don't know what the fuck who he is, but that's my fucking guy. Because that level of shit talk is rare. And it's like, oh,
and then later
hockey.
And then later on, Claude Lemieux about Dino Ciccarelli, and I quote, "I can't believe I shook that guy's friggin' hand."
Yep. And then obviously following Colorado, because Waugh was in Colorado at the time. And their big rival was the Red Wings.
Oh my God, yes.
And so there was the puck drop, gloves drop, it's on site game where Patrick Waugh and Chris Osgood, because everybody on the ice was fucking brawling, are throwing their equipment off, skating the middle ice, and they just boom, and just tackle each other. And it was like, this is like prime 90s, like, don't give a fuck hockey.
One of my favorites was Brent Johnson pretty much retiring Rick DiPietro.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah. Yes.
There was some
one of my favorite fights was it was the St. Patrick's Day massacre between the Blues and the Blackhawks back in the 80s. Red Wings back in the 80s. There was a line brawl, and Tim Shovelday and Curtis Joseph went toe to toe at mid ice, and it is fucking amazing. And Cujo beat the living shit out of him.
I feel like people forget about Cujo. I feel like Cujo kind of is.
How do you forget about Cujo?
Because he was in the era of kind of Belfort and Brodeur and Hasek and Waugh, and it's kind of like Cujo
played on the Blues.
Yeah,
he'll
always be a Leaf to me, but yeah.
I mean, he did win a cup in Detroit.
Yeah. And then, like I said, that 90s era hockey, just the players that came through there. Sakic, Forsberg, Correa, Solani,
Yep.
Iserman, Chelios,
Fedorov.
Fedorov.
Roenick.
You look at your defenseman. You had Pronger. You had Hall. You had
even Gretzky was still getting it done.
But you had so much time. I mean, the game itself in the late 80s, early 90s, the flow in the game was fantastic. A lot of scoring. The neutral zone trap damn near killed the NHL. And
Thanks, Jersey.
God, it was terrible. I'm glad the league finally tweaked the rules to make sure the trap was neutralized because it killed the game. It made
every time there was a Pens against Devils game, I didn't watch because I'm like, this is awful. I don't want to watch. This isn't fun.
Yeah,
like nothing.
I mean, the game's back to being flowing again and exciting. And I mean, there was a game earlier this season between Buffalo and Tampa, 8-7, and it was just nonstop, great action, back and forth. The playoffs are going to be great this year, I feel, because I mean there is a definite favorite, and that's the Avalanche, of course. They are the definite favorite, but the defending champs are gone. The last year's President's Trophy winner is gone in Winnipeg, and I think that's the first time that's happened that we've had the previous season Stanley Cup and President's Trophy winner make the playoffs not make the playoffs in a long time. I forgot what it was, but a lot of the Maple Leafs aren't in. The Blues aren't in. A lot of the teams that you normally see in the playoffs aren't there this year. And now you got some new names in the mix. You've got Utah in the playoffs for the first time. You got Buffalo in for the first time in forever. You've got Anaheim who made the playoffs for the first time in years. Philly's back in the playoffs for the first time in years. So you've got some new blood in there. It makes the playoffs that more exciting. I still think Colorado's going to win the cup because I think they're the best team in hockey. But I wouldn't be
those teams are usually there.
But I wouldn't be surprised to see, say, Dallas knock them out in round 2, and then all of a sudden now it's really wide open. I mean, is this the year that Montreal or Edmonton makes a run and ends the Canadian drought? There's a funny factoid here.
If somebody does, man, Canada's going to be on fire.
A American team has won the Canadian Football League Grey Cup more recently than a Canadian team has won the Stanley Cup.
Yep.
That puts it in perspective. And there has been an American football team in the Canadian Football League in over 30 years. And that was the Baltimore Stallions who won the Grey Cup in 1995. The Montreal Canadiens were the last Canadian team to win a Stanley Cup. And the last time the Canadian team won a Stanley Cup, I had just graduated high school in 1993. It's been... Shit.
Speaking of 93, 94, we're talking about hockey. Marquise he's playing NHL 94 in this NES right now. I got one.
That's a great game.
Now
that's a great game.
Rich, you're a little bit younger than me and Rick.
Mm-hmm.
There was a game at the arcade up at Towson University where I first met Rick. And this is another thing. It was a game called NHL Open Ice.
Yeah.
Oh, you remember Open Ice?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's around.
Yeah.
So you remember the NBA Jam version of hockey that we played.
Mm-hmm.
This game, me and this guy went to wars on it.
Yeah. We were beating you in overtime with a slap shot that hit Patrick Roy upside the head and knocked him into the goal to win the game. That's how we met.
With the flaming puck. With the flaming puck.
Flaming puck, yes. That game was fantastic.
I think hockey's probably one of the most fun kind of games to play in, like, against somebody. Like, in a video game standpoint. It for whatever reason, it just feels even. Yeah. Right, like there isn't, like in baseball, you can absolutely lambaste somebody. Obviously in Madden you can do that. Yep. Probably in 2K you can do that too. I would assume, but in hockey it feels like it's kind of an even. Like I I don't know why. It just feels like it's more of a fun, even like the skill kind of rubber bands a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. And then of course you got the legendary Blades of Steel.
That was a great game.
Which
That
was
was a great game.
arguably the greatest hockey game of the
NHL 94.
I think NHL 99 may have been the best one they made.
NHL 94 was fantastic. On the Genesis, even better. The NHL 94 on the Genesis is still probably one of the best sports games ever made. That's fantastic game. There was NHL 99 was good as well. I'm trying to remember. There's another one that came out later on, and I don't remember what
I think it was. I think it was either it was 2001 or 2004.
Maybe no.
2004
maybe one of those
pretty
years.
good.
But there's also NHL Hits that Midway put out.
I mean that's
which wasn't bad. An arcadey, well, not bad, an arcadey type game.
It was like, all right, we open ice is kind of dead. We're gonna do this now.
Yeah.
Because it was there was the Blitz.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. It was that year where I mean it's like that was right around like NBA Street.
Mm-hmm.
That shit. Yeah.
NBA Street was a good game, but
this
is a hockey show.
I don't want to talk. The NHL series now is terrible. It's just
I
mean, most sports games are terrible now.
I haven't bought it in years,
except for MLB The Show. I still have fun with that.
Yeah,
when I play it, when I played it, I've always enjoyed it. But no, I think like the one thing I'm looking forward to with the playoffs this year is just seeing like I said, as the Avalanche fan, seeing if they can run the table. Like you said, like Rick said, Dallas could take them out. If Utah gets past their first round and they make it to the end, they could do some damage. Minnesota.
It could be LA.
Like
it could be LA.
Could do it.
No, they can't.
I don't see it happening.
No.
I
don't see LA winning.
I say it all the time, but the playoffs, it's a new ball game.
I get it.
I don't see LA winning one, much less four against Colorado.
You don't really see those things happen in the NHL like other major.
I mean, you've had the unbelievable upset in the NHL. The year the Blues won the Cup, Tampa won the President's Trophy. They had a record-breaking season, and Colorado swept them. That happened.
Yeah.
So you do see that happening. I just don't. The Kings are just not good. I mean, they're starting goaltenders. They're either Darcy Kemper or Anton Forsberg in goal for LA. Don't see. I mean, for the Avalanche, they had Scott Wedgwood, who had, by the way, had a stupidly good season. 31, 6-6 with a 2.02 goals against and a 921 save percentage.
I mean, that's cool. Who? Like, that's kind of how that. I don't know. I feel like the NHL is relatively predictive when it comes to the playoffs. Like, you may have an upset one, but generally speaking, you can kind of call your shot and feel pretty good about it.
Yes and no. I mean, I'll be honest, because a few years ago when Florida made their run to the Stanley Cup the first time, they were the second wild card. They got in on the last day because of Pittsburgh losing. They literally got in on the last day and made a run to the Stanley Cup final. The Blues, when they won the Cup years ago, were the worst team in hockey a few months prior, and then they won the Cup.
I'm not saying it never happens. I'm just saying in other sports, these things happen a little bit more often. I feel like
I get what you're saying. But normally, especially in a 7-game series, like in the NFL, you can have one bad fluke game and you're
right, and you're done. Right,
and you're done. I mean, the NHL playoffs are the best postseason in sports, in my opinion, because you got to win 16 games to get there. You got to win 16 grueling games. You're going to be playing overtime. You may be going 6 or 7 games a series. It's a mountain to climb, and it's makes for some damn exciting hockey.
Yeah, and I guess people can say, well, what about the NBA? Dude, all you're doing is cardio. I'm sorry. Like, stop.
NBA is not. NBA is garbage at this point. I can't. It's garbage. They don't play half the time. They do all this fucking load management. Back in the day, fucking players played like 82 games, 40 minutes a game. Michael Jordan didn't take days off. Magic didn't take days off. Kobe didn't take days off. Shaq didn't take days off.
But also, I feel like
Players are a bunch of pussies now, dude.
I don't know. I feel like basketball is like the least physical of the big four sports, so it's kind of like
Maybe it's not physical. It's not physical, but you've got like they do this shit where like they had to put in a rule to win a postseason award. You have to play at least 65 games minimum.
Yeah.
65.
Yeah. I know. You know, Chris, you know who was big on load management back in the day? Peter North.
Oof.
Well,
we're gonna leave on that one. Yeah. We're gonna leave on a Peter North short. But yes, so if anyone didn't know, this is a double episode. We did the baseball one before this. So catch that. Tuesday no show, like I said. Wednesday no show because I'll be in office. Friday there should be a show. I mean, I'm hoping Friday will be a glorious me jumping up and down show.
Yeah, I hope so for you, man.
Yeah, me too, man.
So hopefully your boys.
Hopefully I don't quit my job.
Right, and hopefully Papa Rick is on his way back.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Indeed. Everybody out there, please send positive vibes Rick's way and send positive vibes for his dad.
Thank you.
So I want to thank you both for doing this kind of impromptu thing here. Good talk. We should
maybe you put up the bets and we'll always answer. So.
Maybe we'll reconfigure here. As long as one of our teams are still in it at that point. Because I feel like I don't want to do this if both of our teams are out. I'm gonna be like, at that point,
our teams are out.
At that point, none of us have a horse in the race, so I'm not gonna do a show about hockey because I'm not gonna care.
Like, who are you rooting for after this? I don't give a fuck.
That's kind of where it's at. That's kind of where it's gonna be at. I think
at least I'm not stressing out. At least I don't have to. At least I don't have to watch my team blow a 2-goal lead in the last minute and a half against the President's Trophy winner, and blow it with 1.6 seconds left, like last year. How am I still bitter? Why you ask?
Love it.
Gretzky had it, lost it. Why? That still lives in my nightmares.
But
if you know, you know.
No. But yeah, there's hockey, and I'm gonna watch it tonight. So.
Yep.
But yeah, good stuff, boys. So I will see you. And thanks for
everybody who joined us. Thank you for joining in.
All of Mark.
Thanks for having me.
All of Marquise and the random other person that didn't speak. It's fine.
Yeah. Hey, fuck it. Somebody they were here. Marquise. Much love to your brother. As you can see, go Avs.
Yeah. Well, whoever else is in there, they just like to watch. Peter North. Bye.